All right, now for whatever reason, this word Sophie has been following me for a while now, and it's time to get to the bottom of it. Now, when did Sophie really first step into my life? Around 2009 or so, God told me He was going to test my heart. Keep in mind, that's a long time, but that's almost 10 years ago. And I was furious. That is definitely the most angriest I've ever been at God. I said, "You test everything, leave my heart alone." Exactly what I said. I was furious. But again, if you've never really walked with God, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So, of course, it would be hard for you to understand where I'm going with this. This is for people that really walk with God. They go through the tests, the trials, the tribulations, and everything. Now, that's when everything started. Not gonna go all over that, but the color green, all this stuff has been synchronicity for over 10 years. This unbelievable feeling of love. First time I've ever felt it like that was 2009. Now, when I was younger, there's a female I used to feel intense feelings for that wasn't from this earth either. But it wasn't really intense feelings of love. It was just like chaotic energy. Same thing I used to feel off my twin called Rosa. It's more like chaotic energy. It could be love, but usually when you've had past life experiences with somebody or whatever, that's like a soul connection. When you're in the same area, then you can feel it. So that went on for a long time. But also around that time, all kind of strange stuff was going on with Jupiter, Venus, and the Moon. And if that stuff was happening before, we just weren't aware of it. But around January 2009, we became more aware of it. And around that time, God started telling me about India. Because basically, even if you go to Sekhmet, Tribe of Judah, on YouTube, she'll tell you that civilization started. I mean, the people we're talking about, the people of promise that's in the Bible that they call Hebrews, started in India, moved over into northern Africa first, which y'all might call Egypt, left northern Africa and went into East Africa, which is the priestly class, because I've always connected with East Africa. And then from East Africa, somehow they ended up in United States or whatever New World, whatever you want to call it. And then that's when these savages came out of the caves, out of Europe, and took everything over. And here we are now. So there may have already been people here, and then there may have been people brought over from West Africa, but I've never ever associated with West Africa. I've always associated more with East Africa. I have more association with South Africa than I ever do with West Africa. So here we are now. But now, what we're getting ready to go through is the restoration of these people of promise who have the God particle, who are connected to the God particle. That's what they're called, children of God, sons of God, and on and on and on. And these have the correct understanding of the Bible, because the Bible will be a mystery to anybody that's not God's people. Now, the high priestess, which is the divine mother, just another one of her ways she presents herself. Just like when you study the Catholics, Our Lady comes many ways. Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of the Rosa, de la Rosa, Our Lady of Rosa Mystica. It goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on. But they still say that it's just a appearance of Mother Mary. So we know the high priestess is wisdom. We already know that. And all its different levels of wisdom. hidden knowledge, outright knowledge. Now, if you believe everything came from the source, then that would mean you were source as well. And this is what people get really confused with. So if the source is spirit, everything is the source. You have spirit in you. If the source has always been here, everlast, everlast, that means you've always been here, everlast, everlast. And that's why when people say past lives, if you watch some of those scientific movies, they show you how it's like a parallel universe. Everything's running concurrently, because everything's eternity. Everything's everlast, everlast. This matrix we're in has you bound by time. That's like a Saturnian trick. And you can study all this stuff on YouTube. Even RFG Chosen One used to try to tell you that. Everything's connected to like Saturn. It's all connected. But if you were able to break out of the matrix, you would see that you're really in eternity. That's why some of the stuff that Nania talks about, if you really would listen to her, those special videos she does, because she's trying to tell you stuff that's higher than the sciences that you know. But everybody still has a purpose. Nothing is accidental or coincidental. And there are people that believe you actually chose the life you're in with assignments. So like I said, now, you know, it's so many different beliefs, and I've just learned to live and let live. I kind of just share information. You know, people want it, they want it. If they don't want it, they don't want it. It just says 707 on my minutes, and on my cell phone. It's 707 on this audio I was talking, and also on my cell phone I just had an important call, 707. Y'all heard it ring. So I want to talk about that. Two things I want to talk about though, maybe three, before we go into the Sophia wisdom. Oh, and a woman that just called me, her name was Angela, and we're just talking about the angel cards. Remember? Because I just remember, make sure y'all look at that video that says the angel cards. Then when I did that video, I also said I have a special area for angels, and any problems I have, I take them there. And it's not just the angels, it's God the Mother, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, God the Holy Spirit. There is a difference. I know you guys don't know that, but it is a difference between the two. And I also take it to the angels. Now it just says 757, which is my family out in Virginia. And that's another history of the real people of God. They like to use the term more, but I don't like to use the word more all the time. I just call them like the indigenous people. I call them the melanated people. You might hear me say more or more sometimes, but now how many? Okay, 70 days left before I have to renew this phone. It's 7-11 right now. That is when the Moors invaded Spain. So you can't get past this. You really can't. And God is always talking, but we'll leave that. I don't want to go too far off course. Just give me a minute because I'm trying to get this out of here. So that's nice she called. So we'll get back to that in a second. And I don't even normally have my phone on. That's why that was. But that's the angels telling me kind of don't worry, I think. And that's their way of telling me, oh, don't worry, we're on top of it. But this is some bullshit going down right now. It's like this world sucks so much. Like when David was an old man, he was on his deathbed. And they thought to wake him up or, give him some life. They knew when he was younger, that's all he did was have sex with females. All the time. So they threw one of the most beautiful girls in their nation in his bed. And you know what she's supposed to do. And she knows she better not. This is the king. She knows she better not satisfy this guy however she got to do it. So she's laid up in bed waiting for whatever he's gonna do. He's an old man, he old ass man laid up in bed, and she waiting up in bed for whatever he's gonna do. She's gotta go ahead with it. That's the king. Whatever he wants you to do, you just better do it. So so he had been through so much hell on this planet with everything that he just looked at her, turned over, and went back to sleep. Wasn't that she wasn't mom and said no? She is probably one of the baddest females at that time. He could have did anything, but he knew he was about to leave planet Earth in death, and he knew he would be seeing his maker, and he didn't want no drama because King David's life was filled with drama. So, while he was on his deathbed, his real firstborn son said, "Time for me to become king. David, my father, is about to be dead. Time for me to let the nation know." Time for me to let the nation know that now I'm going to be in control. Go ahead and blow the horn. All hail a new king. But for whatever reason, God did not pick. I think his name was Adonijah. For some reason, God picked Samuel. Now I need y'all to understand, Samuel was a son of a woman that was married that David took and had her husband killed. So you would say, why would God killed Solomon's brother, which was the real firstborn. So you would ask yourself, why couldn't David get to sleep that night? And how come David went up on the roof to look at the stars, and next thing you see this naked woman, next thing he got her all up in his lair, and the rest is murderous history. And how come God killed the firstborn son, and how come Solomon's going to be king when it should have been Adonijah? And how come during Solomon's kingdom, all he did was fuck foreign women, which is what the Hebrews wasn't supposed to do? And Solomon actually betrayed the God of the Bible for other gods of the land. How come? So I hope somebody's listening. Because obviously the God of the Bible is connected to light and darkness. Like he told you. Isaiah 45:6-7. I am the light and the darkness. Because if he wasn't connected to light and darkness, there's nowhere in the world we would be this deep into this planet that we on. But all the crazy stuff that has happened, especially the people of color, as well as other people. Now the funny thing is, David wouldn't get up, because David could have said, shoot, I'm about to die. Let me get one last hit. Let me get one last whatever. This female will do anything. Let me do whatever. She's going to do whatever I tell her to. I'm the king. He didn't want that. He fell on back to sleep. But when he found out, when they said David, Adonijah is trying to take the kingdom from Solomon, David jumped up off that bed, set up, and started giving kingly orders. He became young again. Now, why am I telling you this? Because every now and then you trying to just do your shit, do yourself, and no matter how hard you work and no matter what, it's always some bull. And sometimes you have to kind of get a little angry at God. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, enough's enough. Like, y'all scared to death because y'all ain't never walked with God. Y'all still on some fake shit. But see, God want to be real. God want to be as real to you as your mother, your father, believe it or not, even your sister, your brother. And I've heard Bobby Hemmett talk. I've heard other people talk. That's why I've been out here a long time. I done seen them come, I done seen them go. And every now and then, somebody that I woke up try to talk to me like they smarter than me. That made me laugh. Like, how you smarter than me when I woke you up? That's stupid. That just show how stupid you really are. Just like this whole Kanye and Drake thing. Now, Drake, if you go all the way back to the beginning, Drake was a wannabe Kanye West, all right? Let's just keep it 100. See, y'all can talk about Kanye now because he crazy or whatever, and he say so much crazy shit always up. But let's go back then. Let's not just talk about right now. Let's talk about when there was no Drake, when Drake came on the scene, stealing from everybody. The song that was a hit, he stole that from somebody and got sued for it. All right, so let's not act like the Drake now is so important, because really the Drake now would be insignificant if it wasn't for people that laid the way for him like Kanye. So I'm an old school dude. I know all about loyalty. I'm not with that phony fake shit. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this world is so fucking wicked that even when you old or sick or wounded, you still got to jump up and fight anyway. But that's why you got these messages from the angels. It's 7 o'clock at night. Who's going to call somebody at 7 o'clock at night on a Saturday from the post office? And when you say post office, it's not like it's just one little area. But that's because that's the angels saying, oh, don't worry. We got you. We got you. Person to call me, name manager, Angel. I'll get back to call her at 7:07 p.m. And she said she will definitely tell somebody on Monday. Because they knew. Like, this go deep. Like, the devil's always starting shit, bro. No matter what you... Like I said, depending on who you are. If you ain't really walking with God, then you might not see it as much. And everybody, if you on this planet, I don't care who you are, you going through some type of bullshit. But people that really walk with God, you're going to see it more and more and more. You're going to see the spiritual warfare. So she said she would talk to whoever on Monday to see what's going on with it. Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a lot of attacks and a lot of you know, it's just so much energy to fuck you up and very little energy to help you. Now, what am I saying about help? Because if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain. It's not like I'm sitting here saying help me. I'm saying legal shit. See, I know business. But even legally, it shouldn't take... If the law is your employer is supposed to have your check in your hand on payday. Okay, so if your employer don't have his check in your hand on payday, there should be some type of response. You understand? But when you're dealing with imperialism, capitalism, white supremacy, I already talked about all this before, so I'm not going into it. But it's bullshit. Because there ain't no response, and then the only response is you waiting 4, 5, 6 months later, you still ain't got your money, and they talking about going taking it to court. Okay, but that's 6 months I ain't been paid. And I say they taking it to court, but even that's funny. So like I said, at the end of the day, you're dealing with devils. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Because you go ahead and do something like that. Let the court tell you you better have a certain amount of money on a certain day, and you don't have it. You best believe somebody's coming to put your ass in a cage until you come up with a better answer. I done seen it done. Not me, I ain't been it, but I done seen it done. And ultimately, the game is to make you look like the loser. The game is to make you look like the deadbeat. When you up working every fucking day, ain't nothing deadbeat about you. Just like today, shit was fucked up. But like I said, I thought my foot was healing. Now today, really late last night, it started acting up. And I'm low. I ain't gonna see my doctor until late on Monday. I'm low on everything I need because I thought everything was good. And then everything was really fucked up. Now, I did the reading today and it said, be careful. Boom, 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 because of what's going on up there. If you're on any type of drugs, meds, alcohol, whatever you want, be careful. And I tell you right now, I could see it. And I actually started to feel better almost later on towards the night. But that's probably because of the shift, because the moon was moving from Pisces into Aries. People think that shit don't matter, but I'm telling you it do matter. But even now, I'm being very cautious. That's why you hear me doing all the stuff I'm doing. So this is the thing, but again, it's part of your life. When you study scripture, you see anybody God's using going through hell on earth. And also, just the way the earth is, whether you being used by God or not, you're probably seeing some form of hell in your life. Whether you choose to call it that or not, that's up to you, but it's still hell. It damn sure ain't the Great American Dream or nothing like that. So now the purpose of this video at this point, right at hitting about 22, just stepped into 22, is and that's funny because that person that contacted me today had the 22, named Sophie. So that's where we're going. Because it keeps popping up. So now you want some answers. But that person asked, so the other time, well, I've had a lot of different events with the post office. They're all good. I love my post office. One time I mailed a letter to California on Friday from my post office. Do you know that letter was in Cali on Monday, and the dude called me, and he's talking to me on the phone. I was like, who is this? He said, blah, blah, blah. I said, who? He said, blah, blah, blah. You sent me a letter. I said, who? I ain't sent you no letter. He said, you did. And he read it. I said, hold up. I just mailed that Friday. He said, yeah. I said, you mean to tell me I mailed a letter Friday and it's in Cali already? He's like, yeah. And this was a long time ago. This was long before all the stuff they doing now. So I don't got no beef with my post office. So the devil tried to start some shit with that. On some weird shit. So I had to correct that. Like, it just be hell, bro. You don't understand. That's why I said I have low tolerance for bullshit. I just ain't with it. That's why I said, motherfuckers, like, for real, just if you ain't really on that, just shut up. Cause I'm not that dude. Somebody sent me an email and said I called that boyfriend a racist. I said, I called your boyfriend a racist. I don't even know your boyfriend. I said, I don't even know you. Like, what are you talking about? And then they never respond. Like, on some, what are you talking about? Like, it should be silly shit with people. Y'all got to come better than that. Like, what was the top? What are you talking about? What are you referencing? And anywhere where I come from, if somebody helped you, woke you up or something, just fall back. Either you could get back or fall back. Those are the only two choices and shit. Otherwise, get a reality check. Because I have low patience for stupid motherfuckers. Here's how it really works. I'm going to serve God regardless. Whether it's good times or bad times, I'm serving God. I'm not worrying about all this. Because if you worry about this planet, you lose your fucking mind. Especially if you're a righteous person. And when you really study scripture, you're going to see when Jesus was on his way to the cross, that's all he could focus on. He couldn't focus on none of that other stupid shit. Even when they was questioning him, he wouldn't even respond because he couldn't focus on none of that stupid shit. He knew what his mission was. He knew what his purpose was. And he wouldn't have nothing to do with these low frequency, low motherfuckers. And they talking heavy and grimy like they in control. They was never in control. How you gonna be in control when you sending God to the cross or wherever they sent them? Tree, cross, I don't know. But they definitely sent him to his death. Now we're gonna try to get some clarity on this whole Sophie thing, because this has been haunting me for a while. Please explain the significance of Sophie to me. That's the question being asked. Got to do that enunciation. Now, only thing I'm going to show y'all is the deck has been shuffled twice. So I find that ironic that the deck's been shuffled twice when the High Priestess number is 2 on the tarot cards. So of course I'm not going to shuffle that deck anymore. We're going to take the 2 as being shown. Now you tap the deck. My cursor was right on one of these. The first card y'all gonna hear, when I tapped the deck with the cursor, it opened up and the cursor was pointing right to that card. So you know they want that card. It's the card all the way at the end to the left, and then I'm going right to the card all the way to at the end to the right. Talking about that polarity. Because remember, the High Priestess sits in the midst of two pillars. Now I'm on card 3. Card 4. Card 5. Card 6. Please explain the significance of Sophie in my life. Now, the first card they pull is a sun card, but this sun card has the couple holding hands. It's two children, but they're holding hands, kind of symbolizing like angel love or new beginnings in love or innocent love or eternal love with the sun in the back. How do you feel about yourself? The sun, who is my ruler. You are feeling abundantly happy and joyful. It's funny because they said that's what this new situation is going to bring. And this new situation is associated with Sophie. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you don't, be assured that you're about to enter a period of success and fulfillment. It's a time of pleasure, vitality, and good health. So I hope I get healing. Please bring me that good health because I need healing. Travel and holidays to be enjoyed. Good news around children or the conception or birth of a long for a baby. So this goes back to the first card that came out on the last reading was the Empress, because that's what she's about. Creation, conception, possibly new birth. The sun heralds an ending to difficulties and a time to celebrate with friends and loved ones. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Give me a moment, please. Card number 2. What you want most right now. Once again, the Hierophant has shown up. He showed up in the last 6-card reading, which is also right up here right now today. All these videos that came out today. Right now, you want to have someone around you that you can trust and confide in, knowing that they won't let you down. There are moral issues here, knowing right from wrong, and you may feel that you need some advice or wise counsel from a teacher, priest, a parent, or someone you have a lot of respect for in order to help you make the right decisions. But basically, they're just saying you may have to, report these devils again that owe you all this money. Also on his deathbed, King David gave his son Solomon a list of people that David wanted killed for things they had did during David's reign. And the reason why David didn't kill him was because David thought that God was mad at him. But we see that God was not mad at David for those reasons, because God made sure that everybody on that list was put to death. Card number 3. Your fears, the Emperor. You are sensing that success is just around the corner, but it feels elusive, just out of reach. You may be concerned that the support and help you want from your father, husband, partner, or another man of significance in your life won't materialize. Trust and ask for the help you need, and success will be yours. And that's why I definitely did spend time with the angels, with God, to ask for that help. Now, this Emperor Aries could your boss, your doctor, anybody. And it could be the authorities as well. When I say authorities, I'm talking about the wage and hour division, because they're going to go after these people who owe you money and obviously don't see the importance of you getting paid on time. That's been proven over and over again. And don't get mad at me. See, they like to kick the victim. They never go after these motherfuckers. But that's how you know you're dealing with white supremacy, racism, because they never want to go after the capitalists, the imperialists. They want to go after the person at the bottom that's working their ass off. That's like being mad at somebody in a slave shop, when you need to go after the people that are forcing these people in these fucking slave shops under these conditions. That's who you need to be attacking, not the freaking worker. Without the worker, you wouldn't have no freaking business. What is going for you? The Tower card. Sometimes sudden disruptive change is inevitable, and as painful as it may seem, you come through it stronger and even better. No matter how disruptive things are at the moment, or if you feel like life is really against you, reevaluate and move on. Often a new direction can bring new opportunities you never dreamed of. If you have been planning to move home, you will be experiencing setbacks. So they're definitely showing you that it's about to get brought down. And the High Priestess has been showing you the real reason why all this is happening, although it may not seem that way. It makes me think about John Cougar, when the wall comes tumbling down, because that's the Tower card. And when you think about the President Donald Trump, that's all he talks about is that wall. card number 5. This is a 6-card tarot. What's going against you? The Hermit. You're at the risk of doing something hasty out of impatience and rage. This is not a time for rational and impulsive behavior. Don't be cantankerous or arrogant and resentful. Try again and remain calm and let the rage go. Take time to make a cool and collected decision. The Hermit signals as a warning not to make hasty decisions. Again, you would have to look more into that. The outcome. The likely outcome. The Death card again. They're definitely letting you know it's unavoidable. This is a transformation time for you. However turbulent or perhaps distressing some of the events in your life may be, endings may leave room for brand new beginnings. This is a fresh start in life for you. Embrace it and live every day as though it were your last. Life is for living. But it said it may be. However turbulent or perhaps distressing some of the events in your life may be. Okay, I got it. Endings always leave room for brand new beginnings. Alright, now I got it. So the Tower card go right with the Death card. Woo! They're about to rock something. But I'm going to tell you all a little secret. I'm already fucked up. I don't think it's so much me getting rocked too much further. I think they talking about my twin, not my twin, but my soulmate. I think she be rocked. Maybe not by me leaving or nothing like that, but I think her life is gonna be rocked. But this is a whole lot of Mars, Scorpio, even Aries showed up. Energy. Now, both times they keep telling you brand new beginnings, but they're not telling you what these are. And that's the whole point for this reading. But they want me to know the change is definitely here. And go back up to the Virgo card. Now we just looking, because the question asked was, please explain the significance of Sophie to me. It seems like they're saying, as far as this reading is concerned, Sophie or wisdom, because that's really what that means. Sophia. Is realizing that impactful change is coming. Spirit will help you embrace the change, keeping an eye on positive new beginnings as a result of these changes. Now the reason why, because I'm looking at how many times the feminine energy show up, and I see the Virgo, the Virgin. But remember, it's the High Priestess that sends the Fool, and the Fool is a form of hermit because he's by himself. He's got the dog with him, but he's by himself. And that's the only time the feminine energy really showed up. So it is definitely warfare. Definitely warfare. So I think what they're saying is, don't you rush in, let the professionals handle it. be patient and trusting like the hermit. That's called spiritual wisdom. Remember, spiritual wisdom might mean you be waiting for something that you could have had. Like, if you did it your way, you could have been there and had it. But spiritual wisdom is so the way God sees it, and this is the like even when you watch Asian philosophy, or you watch a show like Kung Fu or something like that, it's always supposed to be the spiritual way, right? But let's all be honest. But he always ended up whipping somebody's ass, right? So even though he knew the spiritual way, the Eastern way, wait and talk all slow and patient, and you know how they do, bowing your head and looking up and all that. At some point, they always whip somebody's ass. Like any soldier you know, no matter what discipline he's trained under, he's still got his weapon with him. Now, he might not use it as fast as the next guy and all that, but he's still going to end up using it at some point. So that's why I say this planet, the more you understand spirituality. One time I did a video called The Hypocrisy of God, and I really went in. I went on the book of Job. I really went in. As long as you're on this planet, you're going to find out that you're always going to get duality. Like you'll get the so-called spiritual way of doing things and yah. But the truth of the matter is, it's always going to pull you back down to some lower level stuff. That's the yin and the yang, and that's just the way it is. You can accept it any way you want to, but that's just the reality. Now, me, like I said, I'm getting too old for this shit. It's sad to me that it's continuing. But like I said, I gave you the example of King David, because when he was on his deathbed, they should have been saying, "Wow, this is a man that really served the Lord." Blah blah blah. Let that man rest in peace. But instead, here comes some more bullshit. So you got to get up off it. And he had just been tempted, but he didn't sin with her. He didn't sin with the young virgin. So then they had to start that nigga shit. Only said the word one time, but that's what it is, nigga shit. The niggas starting up some bullshit. So he gotta get up and stomp that shit out, like when he was younger. So long as you're on this planet, it's gonna be some foolishness. Somebody owe you some money, some crazy ass shit going on. Somebody in your life you need to get out of. You mind your own business. Problems with the neighbors, ain't never did nothing to them, but they got nothing better to do but to fuck with you. It's always gonna be some bullshit. So that's why I'm trying to tell you. On this channel, you get the truth. Now, what the fuck you do with it is your business. But I tell you what's up, and then you gotta do whatever you want. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, like I said. Now, to me, Sophie right now, they keep talking about a new beginning, but they don't want to give you no information on that new beginning. This is the second time I'm gonna try to get some information today, and they don't want to give it. But bottom line, right now, so for me, Sophie could mean a new person or a new beginning. But right now, Sophie is just saying accept the wisdom of life, a duality. You got two sides of life, and sometimes you got to make that choice. You can do it the other way, where you running up on somebody, demanding you get your money, acting a fool, or you can do the other way, which is it'll get done at some point, but you just got to trust each day that God will make sure you have what you need, even though you wish you could just get your money. You got to make that choice. Nobody else can make it for you. Hopefully, you make the wise choice. And was one other thing I wanted to say. And now, don't forget Sunday, Michelle Knight comes out with her weekly forecast, where Michelle Knight may give a little bit more information because she's been doing real good. And on Monday, sometimes Terry Nassar comes out with her weekly forecast. So there might be a little bit more insight. Who knows? God bless.